Hello, and welcome to the Bearded PT. I am the Bearded PT. Every time I smell bacon and coffee, I'm always transported to my house in the morning, where I can see my wife and my son running around, playing with his toys and his blocks, pretending to cook next to us. I can see what my wife's wearing. I can see what she sounds like when she's singing and how she moves around the house. But obviously, those two aren't here. I haven't seen them, but that memory certainly sticks with me. Now, can you remember somebody important in your life? Can you remember your grandma? You know what she looks like, how she sounds. What does she look like when she stands up and moves around? Does she wear a particular perfume? And every time you can picture her, you can picture those different characteristics. Now, we used to think that we house these memories of people and events in particular areas of our brain, in our memory area. What we've learned is that that's not necessarily true. When you remember those different characteristics of somebody or some place or some event, your brain's going through a particular process. When you remember what grandma looks like, your visual area is being activated. When you can see in your mind's eye how she moves, your own area of your brain that controls your movement is being activated. When you can remember what she smells like or sounds like, all of those areas of your brain that control those particular characteristics for you are being activated. And in fact, when those areas are getting activated in a specific sequence, that's when you experience your memory of grandma. Or for example, ever notice that when you smell something and you're immediately transported to a specific time and place in your history? That smell triggered a specific pattern of activation within your brain, which then gave you your momentary experience of that past memory. Now, this is also true for pain. In our brains, we have particular areas that control certain functions. So, for example, area that controls vision or produces vision, smell, language, speech, your ability to move, your sensation, hunger, thirst. Your brain has those specific areas that control those particular things, except for when it comes to pain. And this is what makes pain unique for each individual. The same stimulus, for example, a bee sting to the beekeeper, is not the same for somebody who is allergic to bees. Two completely different experiences. And if we had one area in our brain that controlled pain, it'd be a lot easier to work with pain. But the reality is not. When we look at studies that have looked at individuals' brains doing functional MRIs while experiencing pain, we've noticed something. Now, when somebody's experiencing pain, different areas of the brain are being activated. And for some people, it might be a handful of areas, and for other people, it might be all over inside of the brain for the same stimulus. So what's going on there? That is what we call the pain neuromatrix. And when a specific sequence of activation happens within your brain in response to something happening to your body or a perception of something happening in your body, you experience pain. Think of it like a computer program that's being ran. And when that program is ran, that's your experience of pain. So yes, pain is very much an individual experience. Your pain is not the same as my pain, is not the same as his pain. And that's okay. It does make it uniquely challenging to work with, because now we're looking at the brain. We're also looking at your past experiences, your past memories of things that have happened in your history, of past injuries. Have you seen somebody in a bad accident? Did you hear of somebody whose uncle had an injury that led to a disc that was herniated and the dog died? All of that can come into play. So, what this is to say is that your brain is specifically very powerful when it comes to your pain. In fact, pain is a conscious construct that your brain produces in response to a perceived threat. Now, does that mean this is all in your head? Absolutely not. None of this is made up, and I will continue to reiterate that pain is always real. But I guess you could say Where is your brain? It's inside of your head. And if your brain is producing pain in all contexts, I guess you could say that biologically pain is inside of your head. But we also have to say that vision is also inside of your head. Smell, your brain produces those. We can't jar vision. We can't put smell in a jar as well. That is a unique experience for you, as it is for pain. So, we're getting close to diving into how do you take care of this? What sort of things can you do to manage pain, especially chronic pain? Join me next time. Let's get moving, people.